I think Kyle Rittenhouse A is innocent
of murder. He's got more
murder,
charges coming up.
homicide, negligent, like manslaughter, maybe manslaughter 2 or 3. That's an interesting discussion. Well, like the way Wisconsin state ground laws are written, the moment homeboy came at him and ran at him with the bag and like threw it at him, he was right to shoot him. Right?
Yeah, no, it's a self-defense case, and in fact, lawyers, because we're in a whole new world, lawyers were live streaming their reaction to the trial, and when the he's a witness, but he's one of the assailants who attacked Rittenhouse, right? In one way or another, he feared for his own life because Rittenhouse was pointing guns at people, but he puts his gun down, points it away, re-racks the gun for whatever reason, and then taking the opportunity as he was priming his weapon, the witness who's taking the stand charges him with his own weapon.
Yeah,
now it's self-defense, and all expert reactions I can see in text, video, whatever. It's like, okay, well, yeah, it's a self-defense case. This is over. The prosecution literally had his head down, covering his face in shame and anguish because that single testimony sunk the prosecution.
And also, this is going to continues to happen. I don't know what to do about this. But whenever something happens where it's race related, like Ahmaud Arbery, Kyle Rittenhouse, back to Michael Brown, Trayvon Martin, we get the facts wrong. And then like people will just remember the wrong facts. And that's like an issue. Because then the case happens, the facts come out. Nobody watches the case. And then the verdict gets delivered. And they're like, well, it's time to riot. And like, well, first thing, you don't know what actually happened. And secondly,
you're saying people don't listen to the trial as it happens. Yeah. I don't know how true that is, but I don't think it would matter. Here's the deal with any information. The thing that I hear first, and it's already striking. It's already emotionally resonant. It's already going to provoke some strong emotion in me. It's sunk in my brain. And the first thing with all those characteristics that hits my brain, that is the story. It really doesn't matter what happens after that. Christopher Columbus is a hero. George Washington chopped down the cherry tree. Like, it doesn't matter if any of these things, milk is good for your bones. Carrots make your eyes better. It doesn't matter if these things are true or not. And it hit me first, and it has all those components. And of course, the thing about the propaganda about milk and carrots has none of those characteristics, and people refuse to give those up. Yeah. So just imagine if you watch somebody die on camera and it comes prepackaged with a little blurb, literally a caption on Instagram or Twitter, 240 characters. Now I understand it, and I have action to go take on it. And I will not let my actions be invalidated. My emotions were real. I took real steps physically out there on the street, marching, protesting, whatever. Nothing you say now can invalidate that. I can't have egg on my face because I really was in the mix. And it's bad. It's bad.
That's so stupid to me because Ahmaud Arbery is different because, well, and it's a little bit weirder because citizen arrest laws in Georgia are funny. And also stand your ground is also weird in Georgia because, well, it's not weird. The question is, when you point a gun at somebody, they can stand their ground. And so when they try to grab the weapon from you and then you shoot them, what is that? Because that's Ahmaud Arbery standing his ground, trying to stop you from pointing a gun at him. But you're also standing your ground because he's trying to take a gun from you. So we have
absurdity.
And so there's a whole discussion there what exactly is supposed to happen. Because, and there's another thing about this case, all these cases, the race stuff, what they believe, what they thought, were they racist, none of that really matters. As I go into law school, let me talk like I have my expertise. Yeah. But when the color of the law is very much kind of plain, just like this is what you can and cannot do. And there are questions. And so Ahmaud Arbery is going to be an interesting discussion for me on the questions of when to stand your ground. When is you standing your ground, they're standing ground, cross against each other? Is it negligent homicide? Is this what it is? Can I get money from them in a civil case, but not actually go to jail for it? Probably so. Did they violate his constitutional rights? I don't think so. So it's very, but his right of movement, his right to be free is a question. You can't stop somebody, but a civil arrest is a thing you can't do when you have reason to believe that they're trying to do some wrong. So how reasonable was it for them to believe that he was actually trying to steal? All that prepackaged is for the lawyers to figure out, right? And that's the interesting part of that case. That's why I'm wanting to hear what goes on with it. But the discussion about them being racist and when they shot him because he was black, or if he was jogging while he was black and that's why he died, is not a discussion here to be had. It's not a discussion you're going to have in the courthouse. But if they get found innocent, that's going to be something people can talk about. What the Georgia court said, you can get shot while jogging while black.
Okay, here's the thing. All of what you said is true. Not disputing it, but I can't be mad at people for being mad about that. Now, rioting isn't like, God, it really does not help anybody. You guys not doing that.
Yeah.
But I do feel you when it's like, okay, sure, legal, okay, the law, whatever. I know how to read. Also, my actions outside the courtroom don't change what happens inside the courtroom anyway. People don't believe in the system from jump. But like, it's like, the cynicism's got to come out somehow where it's like, okay, sure, legally, XYZ, loophole, stand your ground, whatever. But you saw the video. He got shot because he was black. How are you not in jail? Because if I just go shoot at white people.
Here's the thing about it, though. You can't just go shooting at black people, though. So you can't do that, though.
But you can't. It's crazy, but you know what I'm saying?
If a white person approached you in the street and you feel to stand your ground and you shot them, yes, you can do that. And you'll be perfectly within your right to do that.
I'd like to see it.
I mean,
I need you to get in that law library and you got to find an example.
Well, there's a couple examples where what's going to happen is people are supposed to have guns. That's when they get in trouble. So you have a gun that's not registered, or you have a felony record, or you have some other issues. And so a lot of people keep trying to get weapons when you're not allowed to have one. That's when you get in trouble most of the time. Like even most weed cases, most people will go home, but they have a Glock on them, and now they're in jail because they have an unlicensed weapon. And that carries a longer charge with them. But anyway, yes, I understand people's frustrations with the law, thinking it's not sufficient enough. But if you want to change the law, you vote, become a lawyer. You do these different things to do that. Like when standing ground laws were repealed in the books, we weren't voting in big enough numbers. And so they got put on the books. And so that's the issue. And so you're fighting a fight that was already decided years ago, back in 2012, 2010, when they started doing standing ground laws, right? Or earlier than that. That's when that fight was supposed to happen. You've already lost this fight. I don't know why I don't know how to put this exactly, but I don't know. You show up to a game and you haven't practiced and you come out on the field and you lose. And now you're mad about it. And you're like, well, you didn't put the work in the first place. You didn't practice. You didn't do all these other things that happen way beforehand before you get to the point of actually going on the field to play and playing this game. And now you're mad about it. And I lose sympathy about that because I'm like, well, when we tell you how to go vote, I'm like, well, Joe didn't pay off my student loan, so I'm mad about it. It's bigger than that. It's much more minute details that need to happen that you are unconcerned with, is why you have elected officials, but you can't be elected officials and go do that work for you if you don't elect them.
I don't know how you can get this to Kenosha. That's where this happened, right? Is that
yes? Accurate? Oh no, yeah. Did that happen in Kenosha? Yeah, after Jacob got shot.
But
Jacob Blake is also an incident where when the facts are coming out and you realize he had a felony.
That one was horrendous. That one was like, okay, this is really not a Black Lives Matter type situation. But some of them, it's like, well, did he? I don't know. Debate. But that one is like, yeah, he was doing bad things.
Cops should do better.
Yeah,
this is what what's his name says.
John McWhorter.
Sorry, John McWhorter says all the time that cops have an issue with using lethal force. It's less about race and it's the fact that you use lethal force way too often.
It's a fact, yes.
And so that's the issue in that case. The issue in that case is that instead of throwing hands with him, they immediately shot him. And so that's the issue there. And that's a discussion you can have about police policy and all these other things. But that's not a Black Lives Matter case. He didn't get shot because he was black. He got shot because police allowed to use firearms way too often in situations where maybe he could have just run the hands.
Also, homeboy was really dangerous.
Yes, that's also another thing.
I mean, I really don't have a dog in the race, a horse in the race, but both sides I really understand, maybe you should not use guns so much, but also the guy was making mad moves. He wasn't supposed to be there. Police got called. He was making mad moves to the vehicle, and Bone Crusher made a song back in the day. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, where don't let me go get my weapons up out of the trunk.
Yes,
I ain't never scared.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this man was scared. I don't know. The whole police thing is they don't know who is doing what. That's why it's put your hands up and stay still, get on the ground, et cetera, et cetera. This is not supposed to be a combo about, police protocol. But if we're talking Black Lives Matter, picking our fights, and we're about to have a whole fight on our hands with Kyle Rittenhouse, there's a difference between Kyle killing protesters and a criminal violating restraining order, getting shot, in doing so, right?
Yes. Because, by the end of the day, Kyle's probably get fired innocent. Don't burn down a police precinct. Like, don't do that again, because that's not what your problem is at. Your problem is
also Kyle is definitely going to have Avengers there.
Yeah,
there's going to be more Kyles showing up to protect him or whatever.
Protect the police precinct.
Yes, we're going to protect. We're protecting property with weapons.
And of course, it's stupid. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? But if they decide to do that, and you run up to them to torch that place, and they shoot all of you, well, you run into a problem now when you put yourself in a dangerous situation, and the law. Like, the law says they can stay in the ground, so why would you put yourself in that situation?
Do it to him,